Hey everyone, this is my third video documenting my process of creating user interface. And today I went back to mobile. I took the flow and I went one step back and I picked this screen, which is to operate on different controls on the music itself. So I recreated this screen you can see here. It itself is constrained in auto layout with different sections. One thing which I did different was I like while in practice I noticed that not every element required me to put it in auto layout, and I used basic constraints. Like if I go back to the component here, you can see that I just put it in center, and for the elements which needs to be constrained to right, I have just added the constraint respective to the element. So if I do a quick responsive check, it's working fine. All these things work fine, even though they are not in auto layout. And if I go to things like these things don't have patterns. So if I want to make these things responsive, I just have to apply settings or constraints, basic constraint, and it will work completely fine. And I can just make the frame fill itself to the parent frame. Another thing which I did was prototyped it. So if you hop onto it, you can see that it's working completely fine. So it adds a little bit context to what's happening in the flow. So previously I created this screen, and now I went back and created this and prototyped them together using Smart Animate. And something which I noticed here was when I was creating this, there was some error, and it was pertaining to specifically to nesting of elements. So if this thing itself was nested under another frame, and due to that, the Smart Animate was not able to work properly. So that is something which I tinkered around, and I found out that okay, not only if the names should be correct, even the correct layer itself shouldn't be nested wrong, or there shouldn't be a discrepancy from this frame to this frame in the order of the layers. So that made a lot of difference. Few component properties which I would shed light on would be that when I was making these, I just added the Boolean and the text property so I could just easily switch between icons. So even if I expand this, I can keep adding more and more options, and it could be completely in my hand as to what properties I want to set. If I want to set like, okay, this is not count, this is chats, I can just change from here and it will auto adjust in order to accommodate everything. Rest everything I expanded upon from previously. I used Iconify to expand my icon library, and rest you can see all these frames, which are the components, which are basically sections of my screen which I used. And this was the one which I created previously, and these were the ones which I created this time. And as you can see that it's responsive, I prototyped it, and as I go to the next stage, I'm going to be expanding on this flow itself as long as I can, and then I'll switch on to a separate flow. Thank you.